Well, hello besties. I got some new swag. Hiroshi's here. And working on this for about 2 weeks. So news is, this is my mindset video. And I want to be very clear that this is how I kind of view what I'm doing. And a lot of this has recently changed. And I'll go on about it at the end. Basically, this week my kids chose violence, and my entire thing has been upended. So, because of my mindset, I'm like, this is fine. I'm just gonna roll with it. We are getting to bed on time, and we are waking up early, which means things are a bit different now. So I'm hoping this is useful for you, and I want to think about the mindset you need to have long-term as a writer or an artist. Seth did a video about this. I will probably link it below. You should probably watch that before or after this. But basically his thing is, if you want to do this long-term, you have to have this mindset that you are inevitable. Like, I am inevitable. I might not be a household name someday. I might just be like really well known. For those of you that have been my besties for a while, you know that my goal is to be your favorite author's favorite author. So like MF Doom was like your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. So basically, every year I pick a theme for the year, or like a mantra, and this year it's mastery, because I'm master's degree in mastering the craft, right? I want to master this, and to do that, I need to have this mindset that I'm inevitable, right? And I'm also going to call it, this is the video about a creative author. I will have to find and link it, because the two of those together combined spurred this out. That and several people asked me to make this. You know who you are. So let's talk about this. I will find my own way. All right. I think what's going to end up happening is that I'm going to end up doing a very weird coaching program for rebels that they work out, right, their own way. And every rebel that I know has their own thing about what they're doing. One of them just wrote like an 56,000 word chapter and just plopped it in. Chapter 18, 56,000 words. That is the size of a novel. It's in their book. It's a lit RPG about a maid. At least I think it's a lit RPG. And I'm just like, what? 56,000 words in one chapter? That is a book. That is a freaking book. Right? So I'll find my own way. So I'm gonna do a little thing about this after the food truck, but like, there are a couple people that I really want to do a project with. One of them is Tony, and we'll probably do one after this. But we are doing this food truck idea together. And so far it's looking good. The vibes are on. And I am obsessed with my ideas, right? Or rather, like, I cannot be your biggest fan, right? So here's the thing, right? So with the exception of chicken, right? You have to be your own biggest fan, right? So when I'm writing this stuff, I'm writing to me, right? I am my avatar of an audience. Now you might not, it's like in fitness, like you have an avatar, like if you're a fitness coach, you're like, okay, I coach this type of person. But if you're not that type of person, then you have to kind of like avatar, like if you're an older man, you're like, I coach older women. Like, you have to understand what the person is, the avatar your person is. Like, so I write fiction for people that are in this niche. It's a very small niche, and that's fine, right? But like, for you newer authors, if I have to pull teeth to get something out of you, and I'm only asking you to make yourself available, put a link in your bio, tell me a little bit about it, Tell me who your comparable authors are, not competitive, comparable, that would have written something similar, right? This year, at the beginning of the year, what did I do? I got into Saga's podcast, and first time I've been interviewed on a podcast. I mean, I've been interviewed professionally before for my other job. Do not be afraid to post, right? Don't be afraid to post. There are a few people that I'm like, you have a strategy, stick to the strategy. And then there are other people where I'm like, you have, obviously, you need to post something. You need to get some feedback. You're not getting the feedback you need. You're not doing the basics, so just post it, right? I'm not saying that do 500 words without editing and just, I'm saying finish a book or a novel or a short story and then post it, because I see people burn out. Like, there's so many people that I started with that are burnt out or I just don't see anymore. And even just this year, like, one guy who thought he was going to promise you the moon, and he did write-a-thon in November, and I basically haven't heard from him since then. And his entire thing was that he was writing on winning a contest for short stories. And I'm like, you have to have more than that, right? And if one story is going to, if your story doesn't like make it to the top of whatever the short story top is, which I don't even know, that can't be the thing. Like, you have to have another thing you're doing, right? You have to be your own biggest fan. And even if that one fails, I've got another project. I've got Bodega Cat. I'm going to put the art for that in this. Let's see. Oh, that's AI art. I'll have something else. Perfectionism. Perfectionism is disguised fear. What does that mean? What are you afraid of? You're afraid that someone's going to read your work and it's not perfect. And if it was perfect, you would not get any criticism ever. Why? Feedback should be a thing. You should be getting into this feedback loop early on. The good artists, the good authors, the good writers, they get into feedback loops early on. And then what do? They get into the writers group. They critique other people's work. They get critiqued. They get better. Every time that I got better in my critique group, I felt it. I knew it. Like, there was a time in my career when I was when I got promoted, when I'm like, this promotion, like I was so sweaty. Like, I was going from the gold bar to black bar, and I was so sweaty that my rank was basically like turning on its own, right? I was out in NTC, and I felt that, like, working with a critique group, at a certain point you're just like, okay, I kind of get it now, and then you get another one. Like, I had one of those moments at like 1 million words. I'm like, okay, whoa. And now I'm getting close to 1.5 million, and I'm just like, okay, but I wouldn't have had those if I had just like written in a corner on my own, right? You can't take forever making things perfect, right? You can't, if you keep editing your first chapter, you're missing the point, right? You have to do a really clean first draft. Don't spend endless time editing, and you will learn so much from finishing that, right? Perfectionism is disguised fear. You're afraid of being critiqued, right? Maybe you're afraid of not being loved. Like, I can like somebody. I can love somebody and tell them that their work is terrible, and I can say, like, this is a professional critique. I love you as a person. Like, personally, you're a great person. You're really kind and generous. Jim Brony, this is you. You're really kind and generous. Professionally, I'm really worrying about you're using first person present tense, or third person present tense. I'm just like, what are you doing? But, like, it's fine if it works for you, right? You're a great person. Personally, you're a great person. Professionally, I'm just like, okay, I would not pick this up. Like, this book, I would not pick this up personally. I would not buy first person present tense. But for you, I will do it because you're a great person, right? So you have to make this feedback loop part of your life. So the way I run my feedback, the way I had my feedback loop was like once a week, he'd just be like, hey, who needs critiques? In the very early days, he'd be like, okay, on Fridays or Saturdays, or whatever, here are my pages. Take a look, give me a critique. Here are your pages. Okay, I would change this, I would change this. God, you guys are perfect. Oh, and now I'm just like, okay, here's 2,000 words. Help me out. And mostly I'm looking to see if the dialogue and the actions nail, right? Most of what I do now is I'm like, okay, I'm trying to make your stuff better, and I know the steps to make it better, right? I can give you constructive criticism, and I can also be like, this is absolute garbage. Delete it. Start again. And I'm really sorry for you, that one guy that I did that to. But basically, in that case, I was like, you need to keep writing. And then I think I'm going to do a video about levels after this. Oh, I should do a video about levels after this. But you need to keep writing. Make it a part of your life, right? And I'm going to finish with this last anecdote here. All right, so I used to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, and I used to open up a CrossFit gym. That gym is closed down now. That's a different story for a different day. But I loved that gym. It was the most rebellious gym. It's the most rebel gym ever. The people that come in at 5:30 in the morning, they are eating the frog. They're doing the hardest thing of their day, right? So if you do the hardest thing of the day possible first, you'll got that out of the way. If you eat the frog, right, you do the hardest thing. What's left? Like, okay, everything else is easy. When I have a day where I'm like, okay, I need to ruck 5 miles, or I need to run 5 miles, I do that first, and I'm like, I feel a sense of accomplishment. I used to lift in the morning, and it felt great because you'd be done. But like now I kind of lift at lunch. I might be doing a 100 burpees a day challenge, and then I'll do that first thing in the morning. But like, I write first thing in the morning before the kids wake up. Basically, I'm done with writing by the time of that, and now I'm going to edit stuff after this, right? And let me tell you about my friend. He does 6,000 words a day, every day. I'm going to go back to doing weekends again. Your mindset has to be, you're obsessed about what you're writing because you love it. All right, you can't do it don't do it for money. Do it because you freaking love it. Like, I'm obsessed. I want to write about this food truck, food race battle. I want to make snarky comments about somebody leaving bad reviews on a food truck and how, right? I get jazzed about this thing, right? And here's the thing, like, there is a way to get from here to there, right? And if you're wondering, like, how to do this, come talk to me in Immersive Inc. Drop a comment here. I do have a coaching program in there. It is for newer authors, getting you to your launch, right? I know I like to plan these launches, and the big thing now is plan your launch, but finish the whole project first. Finish the whole book. Get a critique group. Do the basics. I am inevitable, and you can be too, but you have to think long term. Thanks, besties. Hope this helps.